the Battle of Fort Ticonderoga wasn't really a battle at all. There wasn't really much of a fight, and the man in charge of the fort was pretty much asleep the whole time. But despite all that, it still was an interesting battle. But first, you must know who is in charge of the two armies. Well, most would say, of course, it was the Continental Army versus the British Army. Well, this was a little exception. While the army that fought the British was technically American, it was actually a militia that was, in a way, against the colonies only 5 years back. This army was called the Green Mountain Boys. This army was formed to protect the rights of the people in Vermont, which was at the time disputed between New York and New Hampshire. The Green Mountain Boys were formed from men who had land in the area. The Royal Crown had granted New York this land. The Green Mountain Boys banded together to stop the Yorkers from settling there. Well, when the Green Mountain Boys heard that the American Revolution had started, they instantly wanted to join, because, in a way, they were also against the Crown. So, when the Green Mountain Boys joined the revolution, they saw Fort Ticonderoga as both an easy and crucial target. Easy because it was in much disrepair and neglect, and crucial because it would be good for blocking the British out of an invasion through Canada. The Green Mountain Boys' leaders were Ethan Allen, a French and Indian War veteran, landowner in the Vermont area, and later a Vermont states' rights activist, and the infamous Benedict Arnold, the American traitor. I literally cannot find an image for William Delaplace, probably because not much is known about him other than his involvement at Fort Ticonderoga and the fact that he died in 1808. Because, that's important. Well, first of all, I just realized that the half-dressed guy is William Delaplace, so you can use that as his portrait. But anyway, on early morning, May 5th, 1775, an early morning raid started, and the Americans stormed the fort and demanded the British to surrender. Half-dressed William Delaplace surrendered immediately. This was a major success. The colonies were majorly underarmed, and this brought them much more power. The cannons were used to drive the British out of Boston. This was a significant event in the American Revolution. If we had not done this, we may have lost. So we should be grateful for the Crown giving land to New York. If this had not happened, the Green Mountain Boys would not have existed. Fort Ticonderoga would not have been raided, and the British would not have been kicked out of Boston. We probably would not have won the American Revolution.